Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Brought to you today by the guys from U2B. And I've got the FA Cup version on today. Absolutely love this one. And if you want to get your hands on any of those t-shirts, the link is in the description. Now, Gabriel, where has he chosen to go? The long-running saga of Gabriel, spoke about it yesterday, the day before that. I'm speaking about it now for all week, since last week Saturday, that he's got his imminent arrival to Arsenal. As we know, let's just break it down again. Started off with Everton. He'd actually agreed to sign for Everton and done a medical there, according to a lot of reports. Didn't happen. Then Napoli were the favourites to sign him, but they needed to offload Koulibaly. They haven't been able to do that yet, but they've still been hovering around. Then, of course, Arsenal came in and was said to be the favourites to get his signature. He was going to be coming to Arsenal, but at the 11th hour, Manchester United came in and wanted to speak to his representatives with a possible chance of gazumping the move. Manchester City also got involved, and PSG were also hovering around, but Arsenal have got their man. According to reports, he will be signing for Arsenal in a deal worth around about 22.7 million, rising to 27 million. There's been lots of rumours around it. He even did his medical yesterday. There's been rumours around it. It could be announced today. It could be announced on Monday. But it looks like Arsenal have finally got their man in Gabriel. And it's, as I said yesterday, it will be a big coup for Arsenal. A lot of teams chasing this guy. Very good player. Left-footed, strong, good in the tackle, good in the air, 6'3", but also very good on the ball. And that's what Mikel Arteta wants as well. He wants a player that's comfortable when the ball's been played out from the back. Of course, very young, still raw, you can say. You know, I wouldn't say completely raw, but he's still going to have a lot of learning to do coming into the Premier League, because we know that the Premier League is different to almost every other league across Europe in its physicality and its speed. But it does look like Arsenal have got their man. So we're waiting on some sort of announcement for that. Could even be today, as I said. But it looks like Arsenal have got their man, and Gabriel will be a gooner. But what about some of the other players? Because obviously we know we got loads of defenders at the moment, and obviously some of them are going to have to be on the move. Mustafi could be going to Napoli. Now, apparently, our Napoli have been mapping this one out, is that if they fail to get Gabriel, which it looks like they have done, their plan B is to move in to get Shkodran Mustafi from Arsenal. Mustafi's got a year left on his contract, and they're very interested in bringing him in. I don't know how you guys feel about this one. You know what? I'm sure I could speak for most Arsenal fans and say a year ago, even 6 months ago, we would all just said, yep, later, bye, right? But Mustafi, under Mikel Arteta, for me, has played well. You could arguably say he's been the most consistent centre-back since Mikel Arteta's come in. And as I've said before, both Gabriel and Saliba are very inexperienced at this level, very young centre-backs. And you know that when you come into the Premier League, young centre-backs are going to be tested like they've never tested before, especially when they haven't grown up in this league. They're going to have a lot of things to learn. Somebody like a Mustafi, and obviously David Luiz is still going to be here, but sometimes you might need two experienced guys in there. I suppose you could say Pablo Mari, who we also signed, is a guy of a lot of experience, but Pablo Mari's also learning the league as well, even though he's a more experienced player. He's not, he's about 27, isn't he? 26, 27, but he's also learning the league as well. Whereas Mustafi and David Luiz already know the league, and you could really do with having 5 defenders. But where do you stand on this one? Would you say we move Mustafi out straight away? I don't know. I'm a little bit uncertain on it. Also, it looks like Napoli want Sokratis. I've been talking about this one for a few days. but not just Napoli, but also Roma. But also coming out today is the fact that Sokratis is trying to negotiate with Arsenal to get his contract cancelled, therefore making it easier for him to move to another club. He's got 1 year left on his deal. He's on big wages at Arsenal, around about £90,000 a week. So obviously, at the moment, you know, you could say to yourself if you was him, because no one's going to pay him 90 grand, are they? Napoli are not going to pay that, or Roma. He might say to himself, well, let me just sit in and stay here. You know what I mean? It's another year. But if Arsenal cancel his contract, then that might make him a bit more of an attractive proposition to teams where they might say, all right, we haven't got to pay a fee for you, but we can up your wages. And it looks like that's what his representatives are trying to do with him at the moment at Arsenal. So that's going to be intriguing. As I said, he is wanted by both Roma and Napoli. Napoli obviously in the search for a centre-back. Does look like Koulibaly could be on the move this season, and they're looking for, well, obviously Sokratis and Mustafi are not replacements for Koulibaly, but I think they're just trying to get also other centre-backs in. So let's watch how that one works out. It could even be a similar thing with Mustafi if he moved on, that he might want to, because he's only got a year left as well. So he might want to drop that transfer fee on him as well. Going to be interesting to see how both of those turn out. Aubameyang, when are you going to sign the thing? Even Ian Wright coming out yesterday with a really funny tweet where he was pictured signing a piece of paper, Ian Wright, and he said, listen, I've been waiting so long, I'm going to sign the thing for him, right? Which I thought was a really funny tweet. Typical Ian Wright, love the guy. Aubameyang responded to that tweet with loads of laughing emojis. As I've been saying over the past few days, I'm sure this guy is going to sign. You know what I mean? It's not like, listen, if you're not going to sign, you avoid talking about it, don't you? Every time somebody asks you about it, you know, you don't say anything. You wouldn't be driving around on your holiday wearing Arsenal kits. You wouldn't be playing little friendlies with kids and offering them kits afterwards. You wouldn't be going on your live Instagram and talking to Troops, who's a mega Arsenal fan. You wouldn't do all those things. And you wouldn't be responding to an Ian Wright message like that with laughing emojis. So I think it's almost, I never like to say 100% because it could come back. He's bitten me before, right? But on this one, it's almost 100%. I'm just wondering when they're going to announce it. A lot of talk that it'll be early next week. Of course, the Community Shield is coming up at the weekend, end of next weekend. Whether a lot of those senior players will figure in it or how long they'll figure it will be very interesting to see. But Aubameyang looks like he will be signing the thing. They're just keeping us waiting for ages, aren't they? Houssem Aouar. Now, again, it's another player that Arsenal are showing a lot of interest in. The 22-year-old Lyon player. We've been speaking about this one as well, that there's reports that Arsenal have been keeping tabs on him with an interest to sign him. There was also the talk that Arsenal be willing to offer Guendouzi in exchange, something that Lyon are not up for. Lyon has sort of named their price. They want about £40 million for him. Manchester City are also interested in him now. This is going to be one that's interesting to see. You know what I wanted to find out from you guys? Aouar, whether I pronounce that right or not, I'm always getting slated. Or do you go for Coutinho? Now, you think about it. Coutinho, be a one-year deal. You're going to have to pay half his wages at least. And probably Barcelona are going to want some sort of a fee. That's a lot of clubs are doing this at the moment. They're wanting like a fee for the transfer. Could work out to be, by the time you've added it all up, you spent like nearly £20 million on a player that you're going to get for 1 year. Or do you try and get this guy as a long-term investment? 22, a rising star, really, really good player. All right, he doesn't score the goals that Coutinho scores. He's not as good as Coutinho at the moment, but has the potential to go as far. It's going to be interesting. I as a long-term, it's whether Arsenal have got the money or not, but as long-term goes, for me, he will be a better signing than getting Coutinho. However, this is the problem when there's not a lot of money around at the moment. You have to go in for loan deals and that. If it is down to a loan deal, for me, then you got to go Coutinho. either way, I really want to see a quality player coming in that midfield area that can, you know, create. We know that we got Ozil, but what's Ozil gonna? Is he gonna figure at all this season? It's that again. That's going to be interesting because he's already said he's not going anywhere. And Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Remember we've been talking about him being linked with a move to Tottenham. Apparently, rumours coming out of Tottenham yesterday denying this, that they're going to move for Ainsley, which makes me glad, man. I don't want to see him ending up at Tottenham. I don't even want to see him leaving the club. I want Arsenal to keep hold of him, but I definitely don't want to see him ending up across North London. That would be terrible. But it looks like they are not in for him. But there's any host of loads of other clubs, West Ham. I've seen Newcastle. I mean, listen, he can make his choice. There's loads of clubs, but I hope that we do hold on to him. So, could Gabriel be announced today? Has it already been announced at the time? You know, you might watch this video later on in the afternoon and it might have been announced. Who knows? But let's hope it does get done and that Gabriel will be a Gooner, will be a positive signing for Arsenal. Get Aubameyang announced as well. And then we move on to the big one, as far as I'm concerned, and that's this guy. Robbie here from AFTV. We just got to say a big thank you to everybody who follows us across our various channels. Over 1 million followers on YouTube. Don't forget, you can now also catch us on Reddit. We're on Reddit, so get involved with us on Reddit and also on TikTok. Keep it AFTV, baby, right here.